Court of South Africa, Free State Division, Bloemfontein, is confirmed. 2. Section 26(1)(a) to c of the Births and Deaths Registration Act 51 of 1992 is declared unconstitutional to the extent that
not just the woman adopting the man's surname after marriage, the man as well can adopt the woman's name after marriage. This is the law that is being passed here in South Africa. Africa, is it possible? Can an African man agree to accept or rather adopt the wife's name after marriage? Will it be a problem? Who knows? Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back again to this space. This is your getting out a little bit of everything. In case you are seeing this face for the very first time, please do not make it your last. Do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll always be the first to get notified each time I upload a video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always stopping by to come watch my videos. You see surname. There's something about surname, especially for men. There's something about surname for African men, especially. There's something about surname. Your father, your parents will want you to have a male child. Who want you to have a male child so that that male child can continue the legacy of the family. Like the male child will continue bearing the family's surname, like the male child will have another male child, have another male child. So it will be difficult. I'm saying from my own, I know people will not see it as anything. Many people will adopt it because that is the law that is being passed. So instead of you forcing your wife, oh, you must take my surname after marriage, hey, I'm your husband, I'm the Lord over your head, you must take my surname. Now it is said here in South Africa, you don't have any right to force any woman to take your surname. You can as well adopt the woman's surname. Let's watch this video.
Court of South Africa, Free State Division, Bloemfontein, is confirmed. 2. Section 26(1)(a) to c of the Births and Deaths Registration Act 51 of 1992 is declared unconstitutional to the extent that, in violation of Section 9(1) of the Constitution, it violates irrationally on the ground of gender, and to the extent that, in violation of Section 9(3) of the Constitution, it unfairly discriminates on the ground of gender by failing to afford a woman the right to have her spouse assume her surname, failing to afford a man the right to assume the surname of the woman after marriage, failing to allow for a married or divorced man or widower to resume a surname which he bore at any time, and failing to allow a man, whether married or divorced or a widower, to add to the surname which he assumed after the marriage any surname which he bore at any prior time. 3. The declaration of invalidity is suspended for a period of 24 months to enable Parliament to remedy the defects by either amending the existing legislation or passing new legislation in order to ensure that all persons are afforded the right of assumption of another surname. Pending the coming into force of the new legislation or amendments to existing legislation designed to afford the right of assumption of another surname as set out in Section 26(1) of the Act, it is declared that the provisions of Section 26(1) shall not apply when a person after marriage assumes the surname of the spouse with whom such person concluded a marriage, or after having assumed such surname, resumes a surname which they bore at any prior time. B, a married or divorced person, or a widow or widower, resumes a surname which they bore at any other time. And C, a person, whether married or divorced, or a widow or widower, adds to the surname which they assumed after the marriage any surname which they bore at any prior time. 5. Should Parliament fail to correct the defects in the 24-month period, paragraph 4 of this order shall continue to operate until remedial legislation, if any, is brought into operation. 6. The first respondent is ordered to pay the applicant's costs in this court, including the costs of two counsel where so employed. I hand down the judgment.
Surname is a legacy, just like a property. So many families, especially African men from where I am coming from, they don't joke with surname. Immediately you go married, they will tell you, or before you get married, they will tell you, oh, you need to change your surname, leave your father's name, leave your parents' name, and automatically change to your husband's name. Now this law, I don't know how South Africans, especially the men, how they will take it. I know many people who want to overlook it. It is nothing, it's just a name. I can bear my wife's name, some. But I know many South African men wouldn't want to bear their wife's surname. If you now, as a South African, your surname is, let's just take for instance, Ayanda, or when you get married, your wife's surname is Sipo, so automatically you leave your Ayanda and switch to Sipo. I don't know how can you, as a man, especially for your married ones, because this has to do with your married ones. I don't know if you're already married, your wife is already bearing your surname, you can as well switch. I don't know how possible it is. Now there is this incident that happened in my country. A popular musician that got married to a very wealthy family, this Otedolas family. So the musician, they don't know him, but because of the connection that he has with the family, the rich people's family, that man is very rich in Nigeria. So because of the connection they had, so when they finally got married, the wife changed her name to the man's name. So everybody online was antagonizing the woman. Why did you change your father's name that is well known to your husband's name? Who know him? So the lady now said it has nothing to do with who knows him. I respect my husband and I respect the family. That is the reason why I decided to leave my father's name and take my husband's name. Now this is a law that is being passed. I don't think there's any right now for any man to force any lady here in South Africa to change. I don't say they were forcing them before, though. Don't misunderstand me. I didn't say they were forcing them. I'm only saying, how now can you tell a lady to put down their surname and take yours? And the lady will say, no, I want you, the man, to take mine. It's going to be very chaotic. And let me ask, as the ladies are not taking the man's name, will the ladies be paying lobola as well? I don't understand. Will they be paying lobola? Because if a man is taking your son's name, automatically you should be paying the bride price. That is how it looks like. But as an African man, and South Africa is a very country that is deeply rooted in culture. They don't joke with culture. Now, trying to change the culture to a Western world culture, like switching, they are fighting. They just came out from apartheid now, from the white men. Now we are letting them, or rather trying to push them back into that same thing. I don't know how well it will go down with us people of South Africa. I don't know if you are a man watching this video or a lady watching this video, will you take your wife's name, or will you allow your brother to take the wife's name? I know many people will say, oh, it is love, I love him, there's nothing wrong in taking my wife's name, there's nothing wrong, I can cope, it's just a name. But the truth is that this is African. There are some things that happen in Western world, like overseas. There's something, there is nothing. They take their wife's name. Some of them, they even take their children's name. Most of them, they answer their children's name, like they answer their children's name. So it is nothing to them. If you go now tell them, oh, you need to change your wife's name to your name or your husband's name, they are okay with it. But coming down or bringing it down to Africa, how will it look like? I don't know. Can you comment on this video? How will it look like? Because automatically this is a Western world thing, is not an African thing. Africa does not do it much, but I know here in Africa, maybe people do it, but it is not that 100 over 100 or even 70 over 100. But though people do it, they see it as nothing. But you see, those people that are deeply rooted in culture, those people that don't want their surname to just go down under the drain, they don't do it. I don't know how it will look like here in South Africa. Let's see how it will play out. Let's just see. Let's just see. Let's just see, because it is a law that is being passed. Let's see. Will you adopt your wife's name after marriage, or as a wife, will you tell your husband, please, you must adopt my name? Like, hello, you must adopt my name now because we are married. I don't want to take your name. You should take my surname. How will it look like? The truth is that you cannot fight it. You cannot fight it because it's already a law that is in place unless they decide to change it. But in as much as the law is still in place, you cannot change it. You cannot change it because it's a law, and you cannot force the woman to take your surname. So it's either everybody stays on their surname. Whatever that is your surname, stay there. Whatever that is my surname, stay there. The truth is that we are married. People know that we are married, so everybody can bear their name. I guess that would be the solution, because forcing somebody to change their surname when there is law, it's going to be difficult. Anyway, if you watch this video to this very moment and you've not given this video a thumbs up, please do well to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave your comment. Tell me, will you take your wife's name, surname, and leave yours as an African man? Please let's know. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye for now.